for another DC comic review, and in this DC comic I'll be covering both Dark Crisis titles here, and the first one that you can see here is the Deadly Green, and also followed by issue 5 of 7. So I'll get things prepared for the Deadly Green to be reviewed. And first things first, do these covers in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? Sure enough they do, to which I give the first one a 7.5 out of 10 and the second one an 8.5 out of 10. I'll now go to showing some of the internal art around the beginning, middle and end. So as we move into the art around the beginning, we get a bit of a pep talk here from the creator here. And also we meet Alan Scott, plus also some of the things that are happening with Justice League Dark. I'll now move towards the middle of the story. And as we start to move towards the middle of the story, we see something happening here with what I'll call the fraudulent John Kent. But at least the story is all right, but this also takes place before issue 5, but also in connection to the next. And last but not least, I'll get things ready for the end. So as we start to move towards the end, we've got quite a bit of consistency here in the art. There are some things that also take place. I'll now get things set up to move into the next part of the rating. So for the internal art, I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move to the story rating. First things first, did we get any comic references in connection to where this actually connects to in the universe, or before or afterwards? No, we didn't, though it probably wouldn't hurt to include it. Moving into the next area, being that of time, to which we got a real lazy approach being put down as meanwhile. The location that we got to explore in this were the Hall of Justice and also the Darkness itself. The cast of characters consisting of John, Dick, Justice League Dark, Alan Scott, and of course so the character of Lucifer, who made an appearance. For the overall story rating, I gave it a 7 out of 10. I'll now get things prepared to cover issue 5. So, finally moving into issue 5. And we've got these 3 covers before you. And we've got this variant cover, which is, I think, connected to the Identity Crisis. And this one, which has quite a number of characters. So, do these covers in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? Sure enough, they do. Okay, for the first main cover, it got a 7 out of 10. For the variant cover, on the right-hand side, it got a 7.5 out of 10. And last but not least, the third cover, to which I give an 8 out of 10. I'll now get things prepared to show the internal art around the beginning, middle, and end. So the art rating can be then given next. So as the story begins with some of the internal art, we actually get the appearance of Sideways, Derek James, who we haven't seen for quite a while, since he was ruined on the Brian Michael Bendis run of Young Justice. And we move into the Hall of Justice and also what's happening there. So I'll move towards the middle of the story. So as we start to move towards the middle of the story, we see some more things sort of like happening inside the key base. Damien and John catch up with each other, or fraudulent John. Plus a little bit more, to which we get the darkness, which has taken over both the villains in that, and it now prepares us for what's about to come next. Until, of course, we end up seeing a darkness infused by the appearance of Black Adam. As things progress, we get to see this thing happening with, well, some members of the Justice League, even though their time is short. And it would have been nice if they killed off this character. They are quite boring. So apart from that, it's now time to move into the art rating. And a big thanks to Daniel Sampier, who is actually responsible for the art, to which I give the art rating a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move on to the story rating. First things first, did the story give us any comic book references or references that are important to which is going to be connecting to this run? Sure enough, there was Deadly Green, which I covered before. And last but not least, Dark Army, which is the next upcoming one, which has Damian Wayne heading and which will be going up against the Dark Army. And that'll be interesting to see how Mark Waid executes that. Moving into the next area, being that of time. About the only thing that we got in reference to time was now. So just to address the present, we didn't really get any flashbacks to the past. Moving into the next area, being locations, we had Earth Zero, we had the Hall of Justice. We also had Earth Batman and Earth Superman visited in this. And that was quite interesting too. With the Batman, or the Earth Batman that's in the story, I wouldn't be surprised if it's the actual machine itself that could be the evil that's running this. And I know that they've sort of hinted that Pariah that might be responsible for it, but what if in this case it's actually the machine? That it might actually have a little bit of sentience, and in that it's sort of corrupted not only the darkness, but it also corrupted Pariah. Moving into, last but not least, we had the Legion of Doom, we had JSA in the area of the cast of characters. We, of course, had the members of the Titans, and they also come towards the end. And last but not least, we had Pariah. For the overall story rating, I gave this a 7.5 out of 10. Well, until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.